Usually as a startup founder, you spend time looking on Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn, and all those other social media sites looking for people either talking about your product or even really complaining about your product so that you can build a relationship and try and get them to either retry the product or actually try the product for the first time. As you know, I'm a heavy Twitter user. I use it daily. And one of the things that I came across about 2 weeks ago was a video about a way to do marketing using AI. And what this would do would essentially go and look for keywords and then go to a Reddit post and then actually post and be all automated. Now, I have a huge problem with that, and we can talk about that afterwards. But I actually want to talk about the actual product because the founder actually raised $1.2 million to actually bring this to life. So I'm going to show you the raise video and what their expectations are. Then I'll show you the video of how it actually works. And then we can talk a bit more about why I think this is a really bad idea if you're in small stage startup. Okay, so here we are with the minute video that announces the $1.2 million raise. So let's watch together and we'll pause it in a few places.
Hey Astral, we're really far behind on growth and demo days in like 10 days. Do you think you can find people complaining about our competitors online and start conversations with them? And, don't forget to act human.
Hey Savannah, I'm on it. First, I'm checking Product Hunt and G2 reviews to find potential customers who've had issues with our competitors' products. All right, found 44 potential.
Okay, so first part of it is to basically scrape the web for any potential customer who could be interested in your product, whether that's Unki or some other product, and essentially looking for their information. Then the next part of this video you're going to see is them actually cross-referencing them to LinkedIn, as that's probably the easiest place to cold outreach.
Potential matches. Next, I need to understand who they are. Let me take a look at their LinkedIn profiles. Great. I've identified 19 individuals that fit our customer persona.
Okay, so you have to have a customer persona. That's just like marketing 101. So they've managed to find 19 leads that could potentially be interested in a product. Now, if you have ever had any kind of following or you have a startup, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, and your email is completely full of cold outreach from all sorts of products, including competitors. I get outreach from companies that we use, their competitors trying to get us to switch all the time. And it's my #1 most ignored product.
Now, we need a standout way to reach out to them. I'm heading to Perplexity to search for any content they've created. Articles, videos, social posts. Perfect.
Okay, so now what they're doing is using Perplexity to essentially scrape and get all the details of potential social media, potential videos, anything that could be used to actually do an introduction to a person. And I can always tell when someone has either used an AI product or has done the minimal amount of research on myself, because the first 3 things that they pull up is usually, hey, I really like your product Unki. I can't believe that you're doing API security and you're doing it in such a way that is developer friendly, which is all content I've marketed. The second thing they do is then go and find probably one of my top 5 either videos or blog posts and use that as a way to try and warm intro and try and pretend that they actually have done some research.
Now I have unique conversation starters for each person. I'll go back to LinkedIn and send them each heavily personalized connection requests. Next, I'll follow up with natural messages to understand their pain points and how we might help.
Great.
So now we're at the point where we sent them a cold outreach, and then we're going to continue to follow up with them in the hopes of them actually responding to a message. That's the end of the video. Essentially, we are at the point now where they're just talking about, hey, we raised 1.2 million and we're also looking for an engineer. And so that's the idea of the product. And I can actually go one step further and actually show you how they use this and how it's kind of working. But you can see from this that we're already in the sort of cold outreach problem as it is. Like my Twitter DMs essentially are just a wasteland. Unless I follow you and you follow me, like you won't get I won't see your messages. And when I open my message requests, 99.99% of them are just cold outreach for either products that are competitors or someone trying to sell me something that I don't actually need. So let's see how this works. They actually have a video of them doing this with Reddit, prior to their 1.2 million raise, where they're showing off how it actually works. So I skipped the beginning of the video because it's just essentially the same thing that they talked about in the launch video with the raise of 1.2 million. But here is the beginning of the video. And as you can see, they basically have a flow builder here. And it says at 9:30 or when run, navigate to reddit.com, authenticate as this user, so as a real user. Then look for the most recent posts in Y Combinator, find posts related to the user research that they're doing, extract the comments, generate responses, and then leave a generated comment on the post, and then continue to repeat this 5 times. So as somebody who also uses Reddit a lot, you can also tell when AI is being used to comment on posts, but they're trying to do this in a marketing way. So let's watch how this works.
So right now you're looking at a flow designed to get you users for your startup using Reddit. So I'll run it so you can watch Astral do its thing. First, Astral opens up a browser instance.
Okay, so we're basically using a headless browser by any other name, probably. And we're now looking at each individual element and looking for the login.
And navigates to reddit.com. Next, it's going to log us in. Astral draws boxes around relevant clickable elements to understand the page. It takes screenshots, analyzes them, and it decides what to do next based on our goal. Watch how Astral finds the right places to click. It's honestly really fascinating to see how it navigates the site just like a human would. Now Astral's heading to...
Okay, so it's at r/Y Combinator now. So now we're actually going to get to see what it's doing in real time. So we've logged into the application. We've now navigated to Y Combinator.
Product management, where it's going to look for recent posts about user research. Okay, it's found a relevant post. Now...
So here we go. So Astral has now found this, a bad at taking feedback from our test users. There are a lot of things test users give me feedback on, but usually things I already knew. I kind of get defensive, which might discourage more feedback, how to overcome it. So there's people that have obviously posted here, and now we're actually going to see Astral take this post and then write its own natural language comment and then publish that.
Astral will write a reply that promotes the product without sounding too salesy.
Okay. So here is the write that they've done. It says, getting defensive about feedback is pretty relatable. Here is a key indicator of AI. There is a dash here. Why would anyone on Reddit use a dash here? I struggled with this too until I started using more structured ways to collect user insights. And to try and sound more of a human, they've skipped I've been. And they've just been using ProbeLabs.ai lately to run automated interviews with users. And then in parentheses, so that it isn't like, oh, I'm, just a random user, disclosure, I'm currently working with them. And it actually helped me be more objective since the AI handles the conversations and summarizes the patterns. So we've written an AI response here and also linked to the product that they want to promote all in one thing. And it is pretty good. But again, we're running into the same problem of like, okay, we're already promoting the product. I've also know that this is going to be AI because we're using dashes in random places where normal people don't use them in social conversations on the internet. And they've tried to make it as human as possible.
It even mentions that we're working on it to keep things transparent. And it's posted. Just like that, we've got a genuine interaction that could lead to a new user.
And again, that's the end of the video. I don't want to harp in on the end of it because it's basically just saying, hey, go and sign up for our waitlist. But you can see that there's a big problem here. If everybody starts marketing through AI, you're going to lose a lot of that work. Now, I do a lot of the cold outreach and I do a lot of the research and I talk to a lot of customers with Unki. And if I had sent automated responses to everything, if people were complaining or they were looking for API keys or whatever it might be, I genuinely believe that if I did this with AI, I would end up with less customers than what we have today. I just don't believe that AI is at a level where you could actually trust it enough to do this automatically with no safeguards and rails in place. And secondly, the whole point of marketing is it's personalized. It's supposed to be a human that does it. And when you're in a small stage startup like we are, we're a seed stage, like that is the number one thing that you need to do. You need to spend time talking to these people, finding people that have problems with competition and talking to them to find out what is good, bad, or what is ugly about a product. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm too old school. Maybe I'm too old now for the AI generation. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.